is when you're getting into a new offer and you're starting out and you're hitting the ground running with it. If you start producing and you do well, like there's nothing stopping you from going back and renegotiating. Like it's what I have always been doing to up the commissions or get bonuses because you're fresh to the offer. So there isn't really what I don't want you to do though, now that it's coming to me, is I don't want to look at any other person's performance, right? Oh, the top guy is making X, right? I don't care. Like you set your own path, you
Yep.
own your own numbers.
Well, that's what I want. But I'm gonna learn from them as much as possible.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
And if
not
they're
saying that you shouldn't learn or, I'm not saying I will just say a lot of people put a cap based on what the top guy is doing. If I did that, I would always
um
be limited.
that's fair. Yeah,
Cool,
that's fair.
cool. So yeah, let's talk about hell awareness a little bit because as I was saying, like if we have a $1,000 product, if we don't show them that they have a $10,000 problem in their world, there's no way for us to sell. Like they just won't take action. We're gonna get a think about it objection, and we're gonna wonder, what did I do wrong? I have a valuable thing. Well, it's because you didn't show them that it's a no-brainer essentially for you to work together. So how do we do that? Well, we're gonna dive into, we've looked at the OGs, we probably have seen this framework before, but I call this a hell gap stretch. So we have to be able to, other than finding a problem that they're dealing with, a lot of people, what they do is they just jump on their neck and they start offering their solution. Oh, we can solve that. We can solve this. And the challenge with that is we haven't built enough pain to be able to do that. We cannot sell to someone, again, a $1,000 thing if we don't show them that they have a $10,000 problem for them to solve. That's where the urgency will come from. It won't come from having the best offer ever, is helping them realize that by not investing this amount, they're gonna miss out on 10x the results or 10x their pain. So we have to be able to, once we find a problem, to raise the emotional temperature. And what we use is we use the what I call 5-question pain pancake combo. So let's say I ask the typical hell awareness questions, as we've talked before, with the 3 depths. And that can be, let's say they have a lack of leads. That's their problem. We're not getting enough leads. What I don't want to do is, again, oh, a lot of people come to us for that. We can fix that. What other problems do you have? What I want to do instead is ask them, oh, so you don't have enough leads. Like, how do you mean exactly? Can you unpack that for me? Or I can ask, can you give me an example? Yes, I can. Our calendars are empty. Like we have 5 more spots to take when it comes to sales calls. Perfect. Now I have clarity. Where I take it from there is I will ask them, how long has this been going on for, where you don't have enough leads compared to your capacity? They can tell me for 1 month. Okay, and you're having this problem for, 1 month. How is that impacting the business though? Now, again, I'm increasing the emotional temperature out of that problem, that specific problem that they have. That's the base level. Like if you're not doing that, you have to start doing that at all, but right now. But let's go deeper. Once I get an idea of the impact, I want to get visual. So I can ask a question that's like, what are you seeing specifically in the business or in your personal life that makes you say that though? So I want to get them to visualize what's wrong specifically in their situation. I want to create a mini PTSD. I want to get them to relieve their problem. That's how I'm able to get them to leave the emotion of that pain. Again, I'm not looking to create pain, but I'm helping them relieve that pain. So when I ask them, what are you seeing specifically that makes you say that though? I can also ask them right after that, what metrics do you use to prove that this is a problem? Why do I ask that? Because I want them to defend their own problems instead of just setting their boat on fire, which a lot of people do. Oh, that's a big problem. I'm sure it's costing you this. I'm sure it's doing that. It has to come from them. And that's why I'm asking them, what metrics prove to you that this is a problem worth solving? And now people will fight for their problems and they will tell us this metric or that metric. So I need to understand, once I get the metric that they measure their own problem, what I have to do is understand where these metrics are now. So where are you at when it comes to how many leads you're getting on a weekly basis? For example, how many leads do you get a week? 5. Okay, that's point number 1. And if you were, then you will ask them, if you were to fix the lead gen issue, how many leads could you handle to fill your capacity? I can handle 10. Okay, so you can handle 5 more leads every single week. Perfect. Now I will expand on that because I will tell them, okay, so you're losing out on 5 leads a week times 4, that's 20 leads a month that you could have. And I can also ask them, so what's your typical closing rate though, based on the leads that you're getting? Let's say it's 10% for the sake of easy math. Oh, okay. So if your closing rate is 10% and you could have 20 more leads, you could be making 2 new sales. How much is your typical sale, by the way? It's 10,000. Oh, so you're missing out on 20,000 every single month. That's 240,000 over the year, isn't it? What am I doing? We went from I don't have enough leads in the business to they're missing out on 240,000 every single year by not having a lead generation mechanism. This doesn't have to be true, or you can use this no matter what you're selling. It doesn't have to be only lead generation or business related services. How can you do it? Because you will ask them about the metric, what are they using to measure success? And you will build a gap off of that. So once you get clear on those metrics, and I'm able to expand that problem over a year, over 6 months, I will ask them a nightmare question to really cement the point. So I will ask them, okay, so you're missing out on 240,000. What happens if you don't make a change and you keep missing out on all those sales with your unused capacity for the next, I don't know, 2-3 years? No, we need to fix it because I won't be able to grow the business. I won't be able to pay the team. No, whatever other problems get created. So can you see how we went from I don't have enough leads to if I don't fix it, I won't be able to pay the team. But I didn't tell them that. It came from them by my expert probing, clarifying, and taking them through the 5 question pain pancake combo. So let's open this up for questions and see possibly how we can apply this into your situation. Brian.
Yeah, so it's a brand new offer, so I'm still learning it, but I was practicing the script.
Yep.
So typically now it's for executive career coaching to get into for executives to get into their next role.
Mhm.
So generally what they've found is they're putting in a bunch of they're not getting enough interviews. They're reaching out to people, they're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
So the way that I've been doing is and this is just over the last couple of days. Well, how much time are you putting in to get interviews? Well, I'm putting in about an hour a day. Okay.
Mhm.
And then, well, so that's about, are you working on the weekend as well? Yeah. So I'm like an hour. Okay. So it's about 7 hours a week. So
Yep.
that's, what is that? And that's about 32 hours a month. So that's almost a full work week. And how many interviews are you getting over the last 3 months? I've only gotten, 3 interviews. Okay. So for one full work week, you've gotten one interview a month. That can be tough. How many interviews do you feel like and then building into that, like how many of those were you excited about?
Yeah.
And then I go into, where did I go from there?
So let me catch you.
How
Let me
many,
catch
yeah.
you up. For me, it's not necessary. I don't say this doesn't work, right? Look at it as an outside perspective, and you can do it that
Mhm.
way. But for me, they at the end of the day, what do they want? Do they want more interviews at the end of the day?
No, that's just the interviews to get a job. Yeah.
Exactly. So in my mind, as I'm looking to get a job, I'm not necessarily looking to fill my calendar with 20 more interviews. I'm just looking for one interview that I will get hired on. So for me, with that type of offer, what I prefer to do is say, okay, so what got you to think about, and you will do that, right? I'm not saying you won't do it, but what got you, wanting to leave jobs in the first place?
Yeah. Yeah. Like what? Yeah.
But it's not what I just thought. Okay, it's because I was getting underpaid, for example. Oh, how long have you felt that way where you were offering more than your compensation or whatever for this many months or for 2 years? Okay, and compared to what has you feeling like, what metric are you using proves that you were underpaid though? Like what have you seen? Well, I was getting paid 150 and I saw that the average for this position is 200,000. Oh, so you were getting underpaid like by 50 grand a year. Okay. What did I do?
That makes a lot of sense.
Right? Because again,
Yeah.
it's what they want. What does that person want? If they were feeling underappreciated, it doesn't have to be about money. Let's look at, I was feeling underappreciated. That team didn't have the right culture. Oh, that can be rough. Can you give me an example? Yeah, they promoted this guy, and I don't feel we're collaborating. Oh, and how long have you felt this way? 1 year. Oh, I guess what did you see specifically that maybe triggered that emotion for you? Well, we had this big project, and I did all the work, and they gave Ryan you know the honorable mention on the slides. Has this been impacting you? Yes, it has. So it really has to come, and for someone to want to switch jobs, again, I have to find the trigger point. Like
Mhm.
it's something that they saw that they were getting underpaid, or they felt that they're appreciated and they had a strong emotion, or
Mhm.
a leader on top of them, not on top of them, Jesus,
Above them.
above them left the company. So it's all about the trigger and building the gap off of that trigger for me. Because at the end of the day, I'm not looking for more interviews, dude. I want to pay you guys, get me one interview and find me a job.
Yeah. That's true.
That's
It was more like it was, yeah. Could that not be necessarily, because could that also be used to build up the gap to fill in the doubt that, look, the way that you're doing this isn't working? Because we also want them to believe and recognize, look, the way you're doing it isn't going to work.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But I just want to show them that, yeah, it's just to create that doubt, but I wouldn't use it as an emotion for them. Oh, you will get this many interviews.
Yeah. I thought, okay, that makes sense. I guess there's a few different things that I could do. So like one is the first question inside their script is, so what has you looking at landing your next position in the first place? Going into that, why is that? What are you looking, right? And then their next couple questions was how many offers that you got. So I guess like if there could be building up the pain of their pain of why they want a job, and then I could use maybe this like detailed, like more detailed of how they're going about doing it, which builds up the gap of why their way just isn't going to work. So there's two things going on there. The
Yep.
gap of their pain, and then the gap of recognition that their way just doesn't work and they need us.
Yep.
So there's
Yes,
that
exactly.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. One is creating doubt, but I have to, like, for them to buy into a solution, I have to create that urgency around what have I missed on so far and what I keep missing out on if I don't find the right position.
That helps. That helps.
Cool.
Especially the like, can you give me an example? So when they say something, that's a good way to probe to get a little bit more information without.
Yeah.
That works.
Cool.
Thank you.
Richard,
Yeah, so did I lower it? No.
I can hear
Yeah,
you.
so just give me an example, person in pain but going to work. I understand if we're not going to work, it's as easy. You know how much you're missing out on. You know, if they're a union guy, they're missing out on a couple hundred a day. That's easy. But what if they're going to work and they're just, they're just in pain? It's affecting them by, can't sleep. It's waking them up at night. So how would you say, well, what metrics would you?
Yeah. I'm not gonna use that terminology. That's like the conversation I had with Ryan. But again, I need to get visual with them. So you haven't been able to sleep. How long has this been going on for? 5 weeks. Okay, how's that affecting you? You're not being able to get more sleep. Well, I don't have energy to do X. Okay, and may I ask why is that a problem? Well, if I don't have energy to do this, this will happen. Oh, okay. So this is about probing and looking at what does this main problem, what are the consequences of it in their day-to-day life?
Yeah, so I just got to probe more, it sounds like.
Yeah. And you can hit them in this hell awareness phase. You can hit them with a mini consequence as well. So once you find the final big problem,
Mhm.
and then they tell you, for example, oh, I can't sleep. I haven't been sleeping for 2 weeks, and because of that, I feel low energy during the day, and yeah, I go to my job, and I don't have enough energy.
Yeah.
Okay, but why is you not having enough energy a problem though? Well, my manager is hovering around my desk, and I don't want to catch me sleeping. Well, what happens if you fall asleep and he catches you while you're asleep? Well, I'll be in trouble. I'll lose my job. Now you have a deeper problem.
Yeah, losing the job, you go back to the cash.
Yeah, but this came because of a nightmare question, like what happens if that happens?
Right. You're trying to get them to, well, I'll lose my job, I'll lose my family.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I got you. Keep
Yeah.
probing.
yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
This is where the game is played. Like once we find a surface level, because people won't give you their deepest, darkest problem, right? Let's be real.
Yeah.
You say, oh, I'm in pain sometimes. But through my questions, I have to get them to realize what are the effects of their problem in their life and what are the consequences if they stay living with that problem. Like it's
Yeah, I
on
think
them. People don't think about it.
Yeah. I understand the game now. You're staying at the game. That's where it's all made.
You have to stay on the saddle. Yeah.
You're staying in that until they give you something.
Yeah. Otherwise, they won't buy. Like that's where think about it. They don't see the urgency for them to fix anything.
Right. I got it. Thanks, sir.
Sweet, sweet. What other questions do we have around the concept or anything else?
Hey, Chris.
What's up?
Good. So, my question would be the same as Rico's. I'm just trying to adjust your way of selling into, the banking sector. In mainly not in terms of lending, because this is more obvious, rather than as a new client attraction by an account opening.
Yep. Miltos, I saw your question. Let me answer Panagiotis' question and I'll get to you ASAP. So how do you use my style of selling? Well, again, like you don't offer solutions until you find a problem. Like people have to prove to us that they have a problem for us to present. Otherwise, you're wasting your saliva.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. Like there's no reason for me to start yapping, because what are we doing when we're presenting without finding a problem, right? I'm blindfolded and I'm throwing darts in the dark and I hope something hits.
Yeah.
The challenge with it is I'm triggering resistance. So half of the things that I'm telling them, they're not listening, number one. And number two, the more irrelevant things you're throwing at them, the more what you're saying is not resonating and they start ignoring you. But if I'm in their world and I hear a problem and I help them probe and think about it in a deeper way and get them to realize what's the problem doing to them? Like how's the problem slowing them down overall? That's where they will sit down and they will listen, because that's how I'm building value. People think, oh, I'm telling them stuff, so I'm building value. They couldn't care less. Value is created when you're showing them through an insight that you're giving them, that, oh, you're missing out on this, or you have this much opportunity. And when you position yourself in that way, it's very hard for them not to go with you, because you show them that you care, because you're helping them unpack their problem in a larger way in their mind. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's the foundation of.
Yeah, I mean, the concept is there. I have realized that, and I'm trying to implement it into my meetings. But my problem, let's say, has more to do with the technical aspect. Like whenever, just for you to better understand, whenever I'm getting in the meetings lately, I find myself not being able to, let's say, control the flow of the conversation, and like awkward moments are created, and I get a feeling like I'm showing that I don't know what's my shit is about, let's say, if you understand.
I just feel with the way that you're describing it, I feel that you're letting them, get control, and you don't have the right questions to your, arsenal to ask them so you can lead the conversation. I
Exactly.
think that's where, yeah. I mean, you just have to ask them the right questions. There's no quick fix to this that I can give you in seconds. You will have to, like, in the foundational way, because that's what we do inside the programs, right? But if you look at, from a very foundational way, how this works, you have to look at your solution. Like, what are the 3 things that we're doing for them, or 5 things? We're helping them set up accounts. We're giving them credits. We're giving them discounted money. This. And you have to write this down in a piece of paper in terms of your solutions. And right next to it, like, say, this is Babis. What am I solving for Babis, for this guy, in their business? So if they have this solution in front of them, what does it actually do for them? What problem is it solving? in a day-to-day basis. No, it will digitalize this. It will from a foundational point of view to the point, from a pain that they can't go to sleep because they're thinking about it.
Yeah,
What
but-
is it going to solve?
But what happens if what you're selling is actually already being taken care of by others? Let's say.
What does that have to do with anything?
I mean, how can you find problems that are already solved? That's my question. For them, I mean.
How much are you paying for electricity right now? You, Panagiotis, how much are you paying for
Around 20 to 30 euros per month.
Okay, if I told you that you can have electricity for 10 euros, would you buy my service? Same
Of
service.
course, of course, of course.
Okay.
I'm not.
So that's a problem that you have. You're overpaying on electricity.
Mhm.
Now, you may not be aware of the problem that you had because I just described my service.
Yeah.
But that's your job as a sales professional.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Mhm.
Like it doesn't matter. Like no person is 100% satisfied with a solution. Everyone has a current plan that they're using to solve anything for their relationship, for their banking, for anything, any activity. They have a current plan, a current solution. But if I find something that will do my job faster, cheaper, better, I will change solutions.
Okay.
It's
And
just
what
how-
about, and one last thing, what about let's say, their perception of the difficulty to switch to my service? Let's say, if they are already have their current service set up and they're presuming it will be pain in the ass and will take a long time to switch to, let's say, my platform, etc., etc. How do you handle that?
Yeah, how long or how much time do you think it will take to take systems?
To switch systems, nothing like
So that's
it's
why you have to ask them.
mhm.
That's what you ask them. Oh, this will take too long. Yeah, that's not a problem. It could. May I ask, how long do you feel it takes for you to switch banking solutions?
Mhm. Okay.
Like I will ask them and they will tell me, oh, I'm sure it takes 15 days and you guys are slow. Yeah, if I told you that if we shake hands and you're ready to move forward, we will have everything done and your account set up in 3 days, would you be opposed to having a conversation around that?
Mm.
So that's how you handle it. But again, it has to come from them.
Okay, thanks.
Miltos, are you still with us? Just so I can answer your question properly. Like, how do you mean how to sell digital marketing services? So how do you sell it? Like, are you cold calling? Are you having, in-person meetings? Like, how do you sell it exactly? Can you give me some context? Like someone comes to you and they're like, oh, how can you market my business? Video call, okay, and they come to you and they say, oh, I'm interested about digital marketing. Is that what's happening? Yeah. No, Google Metrics, I get it, but they come to you and they say, okay, how can you help? So you're sending a cold email and then you book them in for a meeting. Yeah. If I have this right, essentially it's simple. You send them an email, you hop on a Google Meet, and you ask them, hey, Chris, good to see you here. I know I sent you a cold email, but what were you hoping to achieve out of possibly introducing digital marketing in the business? Why am I asking that? Because I want to see what attracted their attention overall. Yeah, it's what I'm talking about. They sent you an email. Okay, sweet. And you arrange the video call. Perfect. Yeah, if they came to you, it's even easier because you simply say, hey, Chris, good to see you, book a call. You can even say, how can I help? Like, what was it that attracted your attention that got you to possibly want to introduce digital marketing in the business? Oh, we want to grow this, we want to grow that. Okay, what are you currently doing to drive more business? So digital marketing is a bridge, as a solution, is a bridge to their heaven, right? Their heaven is, I want to grow my business. I want to take the business to, $10 million a year. I want to have more leads. I want to have predictability. All of these are parts of their heaven, where they want to be. Now they have a plan in place, right? With what they're doing. So they could be doing, they could be whatever, referrals. They're only doing referrals. So what I have to do with my questions is get them to realize that they won't get to where they want to go with their current bridge. Like if they rely only on referrals to get to scale, essentially, they won't be able to get to where they want to go. So I have to show them that the current bridge that they're using won't get them to where they want to go, or they won't get them to where they want to go fast enough. And that's where I will show them that digital marketing will get them there faster. But I have to ask them the right questions to get them to realize that. Because when I tell them that, what I tell them is trash, what they tell themselves is treasure. That's how it works. Does this give you some context around what we're discussing about, Miltos? What other questions do we have before we wrap up? Any other questions to dig into? Richard.
So at the so after you keep probing, and they say, well, I'm gonna end up losing my job if I don't change.
Yeah.
What happens then? What happens then? Well, so if I keep falling asleep, I might end up losing my job.
Yep.
Because I can't sleep.
Yep.
And then what do you say?
Oh, sounds like.
Well, let's try to fix that, or let's hope.
Yeah. So what I will say is, so sounds like it's time for a change, possibly. We don't want to lose our job, obviously.
Sounds like it's a time for a change.
Yeah.
Right. I'm going to keep probing on that, how it affects.
Yeah.
I'm going to stay on how it affects. Stay right there for a little bit. Don't bounce yet.
And
I just asked too many questions.
And that's a big thing during the sales conversation. It's agreement to a change. It's much easier to help them agree that I need to change this and then buy my stuff. But once they accept change, they are led to buying my stuff because I was the one helping them accept the change in the first place.
Yeah, because that's like that's like question 7 or 8. There's like 24 of them. So
yep.
If they're about how it affects you, and I could stay there and probe it.
Yep.
They're sold up right 6th or 7th question.
Yep. Exactly.
I'm losing you a little.
Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yep.
Cool.
Yep. I hear you.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Ryan, did you have anything for me? I saw you. Okay. Cool. Well, great to see everyone. Ryan, I'm excited for you. So you awesome to hear that you got into a new position. You'll crush it. And yeah, I'll see everyone soon.